How do you develop a guard like Ortega for MMA? Well, I'll tell you something, okay? One really, really important thing when you're doing jiu-jitsu is to once in a while, put on the MMA gloves or like not 4 ounce MMA gloves, but like 6 ounce, 7 ounce, 8 ounce MMA gloves, like one's made for sparring, and just kind of simulate ground and pound. So you'll play on the bottom. Your partner on top of you is somebody you trust, somebody who has experience, not some guy who's just starting out. Okay, somebody who's a purple belt maybe, and you trust the guy. The guy has a good temperament. He's not some crazy cowboy. Okay, and tell him, look, just simulate shots, just simulate it, just like kind of pitter patter touch. We do that at Tristar all the time. You just fake the shot. You just barely touch the guy, barely. You don't even make contact, and you're gonna see how does your guard game change when somebody's actually punching you. And the answer to that, look, I've done it 1,000 times. It does change. It does. It changes immensely. Okay, so I bet you Ortega does that all the time. No doubt about it. He trains with Henry Gracie, Hiron Gracie. They do that on the regular in their academy. I've been at their academy. I've trained at their academy. They do that on a regular basis. They throw the gloves out on the mats. People put them on, and they try to ground and pound the guy on the bottom. And of course, when you're on top, it's different. Jiu-jitsu plus ground and pound on top is just easier. On the bottom, it's harder. On the bottom, it's more, things change. Your techniques have to change. More so than when you're on top. So it's really the bottom. When you're on the bottom and you have to negotiate the strikes, it changes the game. A lot of the sport techniques, a lot of the techniques that you'll do in IBJJF go out the window. They go out the window. This is what I call universal jiu-jitsu. Okay? Are there techniques, are there ways to play guard that work in all areas? IBJJF, gi, no gi, sub only, and MMA. Can the game, my game, fulfill all these criteria? So for instance, if you're playing deep half guard, let's say you're a deep half guard player, and you're killing it in IBJJF, you're just killing it, and you're killing it even in no gi. Your half guard game is working in no gi. But then you go in sub only, and when you drop into deep half guard, the guys spin around inside senkaku and leg lock you. Like a lot of times, guys go in deep half guard on me, and I just leg lock them because they're giving me a leg lock. They're giving me inside senkaku, my favorite position. I believe is the most aggressive finishing position in the game. When you put yourself in deep half guard, okay, I kind of slide over the head and I just flow right into inside senkaku. It's there. If I'm allowed to leg lock you, it's there. And it's not always there. Some guys are more aware of it. Some guys are harder to catch with it. I get it. Okay. But you're still flirting with inside senkaku. And even worse if it's MMA. And sometimes I'm rolling guys who do MMA, and as we're sparring, guys who are kind of like coming into the MMA game, and they're deep half guard guys. I had a world-class deep half guard guy walk into Tristar Gym one day, and he wanted to do he was doing some MMA rolling with small MMA gloves, and we're kind of simulating the strikes. And he's a world champion in jiu-jitsu. I'm not going to name his name, okay? And he used deep half guard in practice, and he just got crushed. And he's a world-class guy. So, look, I have a place for deep half guard in my game. I believe it's a transition. Okay, it's a transition. Like, I've also seen world-class deep half guard guys do well in MMA with deep half guard. I don't want to say it doesn't work. I've seen it work, and I've seen it backfire. Now, my question to you is this. How much time and energy do you have to spend in deep half guard to get good at it? It's such a complicated, sensitive position that even a world-class guy can get it wrong. It takes so much time and energy to master that you were better off practicing wrestling and striking. Why did you spend so much time practicing deep half guard? Where if you get one little nuance wrong, it backfires on you. So that's my position on that. It's too complicated to learn for an MMA guy. It takes too much of an MMA guy's time and energy to learn. You're going to end up giving too much time to deep half guard. You're going to get deep in that deep half guard game, and you're going to try to put together this game that exposes your head as you it's just too complicated. Why not just learn things that are safer and less complicated to learn, that it won't take 15 years to master? It won't take 10 years of intensive deep half guard seminars to master. It's just too complicated of a game, guys. There are simpler ways. And even the guy who's so good at it gets hurt when he does it. It's just not a great position, okay? Now, there are other few positions on the bottom that I also don't like very much. But again, you have to ask yourself, is there a better way to go about it? And I think Ortega does it in a really good way. He uses a lot of full guard. Now, even him in his fights, he gets hit. You know, when he fought Tavares, I mean, he got hit a lot on the bottom. At the end, he won the fight, but it wasn't an easy fight. You know, it wasn't a safe way. It's not a type of fight you want to have all the time. Now, Tavares on top of him was a black belt, and he's very seasoned, and his ground pound is very good. And Ortega was able to get an armbar attempt, a pendulum sweep. He ended up mounting him. It was a great fight. If you guys haven't seen that fight, that was one of the best fights in UFC history, in my opinion. It's a great fight, phenomenal fight. You know, it's got to be in the top ever, like top 100. It's gonna make it. Check out Tavares versus Ortega. What a fight! And you see some beautiful jiu-jitsu from the bottom by Ortega in that fight. Must watch fight. But again, he used full guard. I like full guard. I like half guard. Certain types of half guard. Deep half guard has to be a transition. Like if the window's got to be really wide open, I'll slide into deep half guard if the guy's giving it to me. But I won't fight for it because you'll get stuffed, you'll get hit, you'll get elbowed, you'll get hurt. In my opinion, you'd have to be so much better than the guy you're fighting in jiu-jitsu. If the guy's like a kickboxer and he knows very little jiu-jitsu and you're a black belt, yeah, deep half guard will work. Okay, but it'll work only in that circumstance where you're so much better than the guy. Where if the guy's equally competent to you, he's gonna stuff that deep half guard and he's gonna hurt you. Okay. How do you point spar a faster, taller opponent? How do you point spar a faster, taller opponent? Well, they don't call it reach advantage for nothing. Okay, the guy, if he's taller, faster than you, he has a shorter distance to cross, and he can cross distance faster than you can. You're in trouble. You're in trouble. Okay, so look, when somebody is faster than me, and it happens to me all the time when I'm sparring, guys, I got to start doing more striking videos. I know. I'm going to start filming more striking videos, guys. I promise you. After Ramadan, this month, I'm probably not going to be sparring, okay? But I promise you, after that month, I'm going to start sparring more, and I'm going to film. Because I filmed recently a striking video. Just sparring footage. So that might happen during Ramadan, okay? So I might get that footage. I asked for it already. Somebody filmed it for me. I haven't gotten it yet, but I'll probably put it up. Maybe I'll make a striking video soon. But when you're striking, you got to create a lot of feints, a lot of smoke. If the guy is faster than me and taller than me, if I can't blind him, listen, I'm dead. Okay, I gotta blind him. You know, how do you do that? With feints. Now, when you feint, you gotta see when you do a feint. Does your opponent react to your feint? If he doesn't react to your feints, something is wrong with your feints. Okay, so keep working on your feints and make your feints believable until the point where when you feint, your opponent reacts. And when your opponent reacts and he bites on a fake, that's the time for you to cross the distance and put the hurt on your opponent. Okay, but if he's taller than you, faster than you, and you can't fake him out, you're gonna be in trouble. Okay.